Hello, and welcome back to the English Grammar course. I'm Marian, your English teacher, and I am excited to continue on our English learning journey. Today, our topic is adverbs. But first, let's review last week's content. In our last video, we learned how to use adjectives to form the comparative and superlative forms. Adjectives are useful when you want to compare things and have 3 degrees: positive, comparative, superlative. The positive refers to words used to describe a noun. For example, the cake looks tasty. The comparative compares one noun to another. For example, the chocolate cake looks tastier than the strawberry one. Finally, superlatives compare 3 or more nouns to one another. The vanilla cake looks the tastiest of the cakes. Now, how we form these comparatives and superlatives depend on the number of syllables in an adjective. Generally speaking, for adjectives with only 1 or 2 syllables, we add the suffix er and use the word than to form the comparative, and add the suffix est to form the superlative. My brother is stronger than yours, but Tim's brother is the strongest. Stronger than is a comparative, and the strongest is a superlative. For adjectives with more than 2 syllables, and certain ones with only 2, we use the words more and than to create the comparative, and the most to form the superlative. Hamlet is a more exciting play than Othello, but Romeo and Juliet is the most exciting of all. More exciting than is a comparative. The most exciting is the superlative. To compare equal attributes, we can use the pattern as plus adjective plus as. For example, the tree is as tall as the house. Tall is the adjective, and as tall as indicates that the tree and the house are the same size. To compare equal and unequal quantities, we can use 2 different constructions. The first one is as plus adjective indicating quantity plus noun plus as. For example, there is as much sugar as there is flour in this recipe. Much is an adjective indicating quantity, and sugar is a noun. We can also use the construction adjective indicating quantity plus noun plus than. There is less sugar in your coffee than mine. Less is an adjective indicating quantity. Sugar is a noun. Great work! Let's practice what you know. Can you choose the correct sentence? Her name is more complicated to mine to understand. Her name is more complicated than mine to understand. The second sentence is correct. We need the words more and than to make a comparison. That rat is the biggest I've ever seen. That rat is biggest I've ever seen. The first sentence is correct. To form the superlative, we need the definite article the biggest. Your pen works as well than mine. Your pen works as well as mine. The second sentence is correct. To compare two equal attributes, we use the pattern as plus adjective plus as. As well as. She's much more happy than yesterday. She's much happier than yesterday. The second sentence is correct. To compare two things or people, we use the structure happier than. We do not add more to the adjective. Great work! We finished with our review. Now let's move on to our topic for today, adverbs. While an adjective is a word used to describe nouns, an adverb is a word used to describe or modify verbs, adjectives, and prepositions. Adverbs can tell you when, where, or how an action took place. For example, he shouted angrily. The adverb angrily indicates the manner in which the action shouted was done. He arrived late to the party. The adverb late indicates the timing of the action, which is arrived. I stayed there when I came back to the USA. The adverb there indicates the place in which the action happened, which is stayed. Some adverbs are placed in a sentence to emphasize or intensify adjectives or adverbs. For example, that was an incredibly moving performance. Moving is an adjective. By adding the adverb incredibly, we are emphasizing how wonderful the performance was. You went to bed rather early for a Friday night. Early is an adverb. We can use two adverbs next to each other to emphasize the second one. This flower is remarkably red. Red is an adjective, and the adverb remarkably emphasizes how colorful the red is. Now, adverbs can be used in 3 different ways in a sentence. It can be used at the beginning of a phrase. For example, finally, we found the toy we were looking for. We can use an adverb in the middle of a phrase, but before a verb. A magician never reveals his secret. Reveals is a verb, and never is the adverb. Finally, we can also use adverbs at the end of a sentence or after a verb or clause. She cried desperately. The adverb desperately indicates the manner in which the action cried was done. He called for help loudly. Again, the adverb loudly indicates the manner in which the call for help was done. Here are some categories of adverbs categorized into 7 groups: manner, time, place, degree, certainty, opinion, number, interrogative. Some examples of adverbs of manner are elegantly, quietly, slowly, well. Some examples of adverbs of time are before, since, eventually, usually, now. Some adverbs of place are everywhere, nearby, here, there. Examples of adverbs of degree are rather, almost, quite, very, enough. As a side note, quite is an adverb commonly used by British English speakers and is less commonly used by Americans or other nationalities. Some examples of adverbs of certainty are definitely, probably, certainly. Adverbs of opinion are clearly, personally, naturally. Some adverbs indicating number are once, twice. And interrogative adverbs are where, when, and how. Now let's take a closer look at these 7 categories of adverbs. Adverbs of manner tell you the way an action is performed. They answer the question, how? Many adverbs of manner are formed by adding the suffix ly to adjectives, but there are some exceptions. For example, he purposefully dropped the expensive bull. Purposeful is an adjective, and we have transformed it into an adverb by adding ly. Purposefully describes the way the action is done. Another example, they're trying hard to impress the teacher. Hard is an adverb. It does not have ly. It's irregular. Adverbs of time tell you when, how long, or how often an action has occurred. For example, dinner will be ready shortly. I have lived in France since 2010. Adverbs of place answer the question of where an action happens. They cannot be used at the beginning of a sentence. For example, I like to do yoga outside in the summer. We cannot say, outside, I like to do yoga in the summer. The adverb outside cannot be at the beginning of a sentence. Hank looked around the office for his phone. The adverb around describes where Hank is looking. Two very common adverbs of place are here and there. They give a location relative to the speaker. With verbs of movement, here means towards or with the speaker, whereas there means away and not with the speaker. For example, this house is cozy. I really like it here. The adverb here indicates the house that the speaker is in. Now, in the second example, I used to live in Japan. I want to go back there. The adverb there indicates that the speaker is not in Japan now. Here and there can be placed at the beginning of a sentence for emphasis. For example, there it is. Here we go. Adverbs of place that end in where refer to non-specific locations or directions. For example, I hope to go somewhere hot for my next holiday. This sentence refers to any place that is hot, not a specific place. That cat is everywhere. This sentence means that the cat is in many places, but doesn't indicate any specific ones. Adverbs of degree answer the question, how much or to what extent, and can increase or reduce the strength of the word they describe. For example, he was incredibly loud. This sentence indicates that he is very, very, very loud. But the sentence, he was a little loud. The adverb little indicates that he is loud, but not too much. The degree of loudness changes depending on the adverb. When adverbs of degree modify a verb, it must be placed before the verb. For example, the children absolutely loved the puppet show. The adverb absolutely describes the action loved and is therefore in front of the verb. Adverbs of degree can also be used before another adverb for extra emphasis. For example, the old man walked incredibly slowly. Incredibly and slowly are both adverbs, and incredibly adds more information, emphasizes the slowness of the old man. Some adverbs of degree can have specific meanings. For example, the adverb of degree to can mean also when placed at the end of the phrase it modifies. Can I come to the mall too? To can also mean excessively when used before an adjective or another adverb. This tea is too hot. This means that the tea is not comfortable to drink. The heat is excessive. The adverb of degree very is also used to describe an excessive behavior, but its usage is very different to. Very expresses a fact, whilst to suggests there is a problem. For example, it's very cold outside. This sentence indicates a fact, that the cold is extreme. Now in the sentence, it's too cold outside. I can't go out. To indicates there is a problem for the speaker. Adverbs of certainty express how certain a subject feels about an action or event. Adverbs of certainty are used before the main verb unless the main verb is to be, in which case it's placed after. For example, he definitely won't come tonight. Definitely is placed before the verb, will not. In the second sentence, he is probably at a bar. Is a form of the verb to be. Therefore, the adverb probably is placed after. If the frame contains a helping verb, which is something we will learn more about in a future lesson, the adverb of certainty is placed between the helping verb and the main verb. For example, he has probably left it at home. Has is a helping verb, and left is the main verb. Therefore, we place the adverb probably between the two. Adverbs of certainty can also be placed at the beginning of a sentence for emphasis. For example, undoubtedly, Rosa Parks was at the forefront of the civil rights movement. Some adverbs can be used to indicate the speaker's viewpoint or opinion about an action, or make a comment about the action without modifying the action itself. These adverbs are commonly placed at the beginning of a sentence or before the main verb. For example, clearly you're doing this all wrong. Clearly indicates the frustration of the speaker about how the action is being done. It does not modify the way the action is happening. I would personally rather you didn't come. Personally indicates the feeling of the speaker and does not modify the noun rather. Finally, our last category of adverbs are interrogative adverbs, which are placed at the beginning of a question and before a verb. Where is my book? What is the problem? We know that where and what are adverbs because they come before a verb. In this case, the verb to be. Great job! Now it's practice time. Can you identify the adverb? I don't know what happened. The bird randomly attacked me. The adverb is randomly. It indicates the manner in which the speaker was attacked. The tall man shouted angrily at the little boy. The adverb is angrily and indicates the manner in which the man shouted. I ran as quickly as I could. The adverb quickly indicates the speed at which the main action, run, was performed. Officially, we haven't made a decision yet, but between you and me, you've clearly won the award. In this sentence, the adverb clearly indicates the opinion of the speaker for who has won the award. Great job! Now, let's look at how to form comparatives and superlatives with adverbs. Adverbs are used to indicate comparison in the same way as adjectives, by using more and than and the most to form the comparative and superlative forms with all adverbs that end in ly, no matter how many syllables there are. For example, easily, more easily than, the most easily, or dangerously, more dangerously than, the most dangerously. For example, I take this job more seriously than my friend. I probably take it the most seriously of everyone on our team. More seriously than is a comparative adverb. The most seriously is a superlative adverb. Now, with short adverbs that do not end in ly, the comparative and superlative forms are very similar to adjectives. For example, hard, harder, hardest. Fast, faster, fastest. Late, later, latest. Now there are a few exceptions to these rules with adverbs that have irregular comparative and superlative forms. They are badly, worse, worst. Far, farther or further. Farthest or furthest. Both versions are correct and mean the same thing. Little, less, least. Well, better, best. I ran harder than you. Lena ran the hardest, though. Harder than is a comparative, and the hardest is a superlative. I performed well on the exam, but I think you did better than me. Well is an adverb in its simple form. Better than indicates a comparison. Time for practice once again. Can you fill in the gaps with the correct comparison? Julia and her brother read the most quietly of all the other children in the class. My mom ran 40 kilometers when she was my age. I want to run farther than her. My mom ran 40 kilometers when she was my age. I want to run further than her. Both sentences are correct. I did the worst on the exam out of everyone in the class. Okay, great job with this practice. It's time for our final one, practice within popular context. Here is a video of performers Laura Osnes and Santino Fontana singing the song Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. We are going to watch, then listen to parts of it and fill in the gaps. But first, just enjoy the video and try to identify all the comparatives and superlative adverbs.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Ha!
I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I can shoot a partridge with a single cartridge.
I can get a sparrow with a bow and arrow.
I can live on bread and cheese.
And only on that?
Yeah.
So can a rat.
Anything you can sing, I can sing higher.
I can sing anything higher than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
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 How do you sing? Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, point for you. How do you you sing so high?
Well, I'm a girl.
That's not what I heard.
Excuse me, I am a lady. Thank you.
Agree to disagree.
Okay, can't wait.
Anything you can say, I can say softer.
I can say anything softer than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
I can drink my liquor faster than a flicker.
I can drink it quicker and get even sicker.
I can open any safe.
Ooh, without being caught?
You bet.
That's what I thought, you crook.
Any note you can hold, I can hold longer.
I can hold any note longer than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No,
Yes,
you-
All right, I hope you enjoyed that performance. Now let's listen again to various parts of the song and fill in the gaps. Let's go.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Ha!
I can do anything better than you.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
Anything you can sing, I can sing higher.
I can sing anything higher than you.
Anything you can sing, I can sing higher. I can sing anything higher than you. And finally, our last piece.
Anything you can say, I can say softer.
I can say anything softer than you.
Anything you can say, I can say softer. I can say anything softer than you. We did it! Well done! Now let's move on to our final part of the lesson, review. While an adjective is a word used to describe nouns, an adverb is a word used to describe or modify verbs, adjectives, and prepositions. Adverbs can tell you when, where, or how an action took place. Some adverbs are placed in a sentence to emphasize or intensify adjectives or adverbs. Adverbs can be used in 3 different ways in a sentence. At the beginning of a phrase, usually to emphasize a point. For example, suddenly she started crying. The adverb suddenly emphasizes how she started crying unexpectedly. An adverb can be used in the middle of a phrase before a verb. She quickly ran ahead. The verb is ran, and the adverb indicates the manner in which the action happened. Finally, an adverb can also be used at the end of a sentence or after a verb or clause. The car broke down unexpectedly. There are 7 different categories of adverbs. Adverbs of manner tell you the way an action is performed. They answer the question how. For example, she hugged him happily. Adverbs of time tell you when, how long, or how often an action has occurred. For example, I ran 10 miles yesterday. Adverbs of place answer the question where the action it describes happens. They cannot be used at the beginning of a sentence. I like shopping here. Adverbs of degree answer the question how much or to what extent, and can increase or reduce the strength of the word they describe. The coffee is too cold to drink. Adverbs of certainty express how certain a subject feels about an action or event. She'll probably arrive late. Adverbs of certainty are used before the main verb, unless the verb is to be, in which case it's placed after. And finally, interrogative adverbs are placed at the beginning of a question and before a verb. Who is that? Fantastic job! We finished our lesson on adverbs, and our next one will be about prepositions. Thank you for participating, and see you soon.